Welcome to Ljubljana, the capital city of beautiful Slovenia. Known for its charming old town and vibrant art scene, the city offers a perfect mix of traditional and modern. We've come to Ljubljana today to get a taste of the Slovenian cuisine, which we've heard is a beautiful blend of Central European, Mediterranean, and Balkan flavors. So let's see what all they have to offer. Something that is so special about Slovenia is their emphasis on using fresh, local ingredients from the region. So it's really common for Slovenians to eat farm to table on a regular basis, which I really admire. I have such a long list of foods to try today, so without further ado, let's get eating.
So we're on our way to our first restaurant of the day, but we're walking through this massive farmer's market and it is literally so bustling even though the rain is here.
Yeah, everyone's coming to get their fresh produce.
Yeah.
And just looking around, like the greens look really, really good.
I can smell them too. I think
Yeah.
the rain is making the smell of the produce come through the air and I'm just like, wow, I could eat some raw vegetables right now.
Yeah, I wish we were staying here for a little bit longer so that we could buy just a ton of produce to cook at our Airbnb.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, this is awesome though. Great start to the day.
We're starting our day off with Kranjska klobasa, which is a Carniolan sausage made with pork and bacon. It's seasoned with garlic and then smoked to perfection. It comes with mustard and horseradish as well as a nice roll of bread. And I was honestly a little bit nervous when we were leaving Austria that we wouldn't be able to enjoy any more sausage. But of course, I was proven wrong. There's going to be lots and lots of sausage here in Slovenia, and I'm so excited for it.
I have to say, Claire and I have not had breakfast, so I've worked up an appetite. The smell of this sausage is incredible.
I got a little bit of each of the sauces. Cheers! Ooh. I love that hit of spice from the horseradish sauce.
It's perfectly firm too. Some sausages kind of fall apart. I like how this one doesn't. The best part is that they cut it right before they hand it to you. So all the juices are still there.
Next up we have Ričet, which is a thick barley and vegetable soup that's typically eaten during the colder months, so I'm very happy that it's a nice chilly day. It feels very suitable for the rainy weather.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's really
Is
good.
it like gelatinous a little bit? Ooh, it has beans in there. That's really nice.
Yeah.
And I think the perfect thing to add in there is going to be the sausage.
Yeah, the sausage. It has a very rustic flavor to it, and I do feel like it's the perfect comfort food or the hearty meal that you need after a chilly day out.
Perfect on a rainy day.
We have another soup that's often eaten during the colder months. This is Jota, and the name actually derives from the Gaelic word for soup. And it's essentially a hearty stew made with sauerkraut, beans, potatoes, and pork. And I've never had a soup with sauerkraut in it before, so this is going to be a first. All right, got a bean, a potato, and the sauerkraut. It actually reminds me of this green bean dish that we would have during Thanksgiving because it has that little bit of sourness to it. But for me personally, I feel like it's less of a soup and more of a side. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's like a sour. It's not as sour as sauerkraut because it's toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to sauerkraut.
Well,
Like,
it is sauerkraut.
I know, but like, yeah, that's true.
And then if you put the sausage in, I think it takes it
Down a different path.
yes, down a different path.
That pairs so nicely.
Let me try.
That is the path I would go down. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that with the pork.
For dessert, we have Štruklji, which is a Slovenian rolled dumpling, and this dish actually dates all the way back to the 16th century when it was a part of the cuisine in monasteries. But then in the 17th century, it became a festive meal for the middle class. So I thought that was really cool, and of course nowadays it is just a common dessert to eat in Slovenia. I've never had a sweet dumpling before, so I am excited to try. I believe we have 3 different flavors here because these dumplings can be filled with all sorts of different things like cottage cheese, herbs, meat. And so we have one that's kind of yellowish white, one that's green and filled with some kind of herb. And then we have this like purplish brown one on the end. I think I'm gonna start with that one. The roll and the chewiness of it actually reminds me of a Turkish delight. All right, so I'm going for the green one. Ooh, very herbal, a little bit savory too, a little bit sour. A lot of flavors going on. Interesting, right?
That one's very interesting.
The last one, the yellowish white one, definitely very cheesy. We just took a very modern, fully glass funicular up to the castle that overlooks Ljubljana. And before coming here, we went to a little bakery and we picked up some Potica. They're so cute. They kind of remind me of little bundt cakes. This is said to be possibly the most famous cake in all of Slovenia, and it is made out of sweet yeast dough, and it comes with so many different kinds of fillings. I think there are over 80 possible fillings, and the ones that we got here are tarragon and walnut, but I saw that there was also chocolate, hazelnut, poppy seed, so there are lots of different choices. But I'm excited, these are so darling. We were asking the bake shop owner what her favorite one was, and she said it was the tarragon, and it's also one of the most traditional options, so I think we'll try this one first.
Thank you. Tarragon is such an interesting flavor, or smell.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cheers.
That's really nice. Very solid.
Yeah, that's really good. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit herby, and you all know I love cake, so.
It kind of takes like a minty path. I mean, tarragon is just a thing that I'm not very familiar with. So it's an interesting flavor. The bread is the cake is very moist.
All right, so this one is filled with walnut. Cheers.
I love
Wow.
that. Wow. It's like a holiday bread. I say it's more of a bread to me than cake, but I think that's just because I'm used to like American desserts. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it feels like something you'd eat for breakfast. I think this is my favorite thing that we've tried all day so far. We should have gotten more.
You can always go back. Well, now that we have had our fill of cakes, we are going to walk around this castle, which actually used to be a fortress, and it's also been a prison. So I'm really excited to explore it because it looks like they've recently remodeled it, and there's a lot of like modern architecture going on mixed with the classic. But I will say that it's over 900 years old, so there's a lot of history to explore.
We are standing in what used to be a prison cell, and Chad and I were just talking about how sad it would be to be in this room because there's like no window to the outside world. There's this tiny, tiny window up there that maybe you get a little speck of light.
Yeah.
But they do have this very
dramatic, traumatizing,
disturbing sounding audio playing over there of what the prisoners probably sounded like, and they're just groaning and moaning. Here, let's let them hear.
To wrap up our time at the castle, we walked up to the watchtower where you can look down on the entire city of Ljubljana. And I have to say, this castle has actually been really good value because they recently renovated it, and all of the exhibits are really cool, how they've mixed the old castle with this like new construction. But I love looking down from the watchtower onto the city with everyone with their umbrellas, and you can see the river and all of this greenery that surrounds the city. So after our castle experience, we went back to the bakery to pick up some more cakes for tomorrow. But while we were outside the store looking for a restaurant for tonight, a bachelor party came up to us and had Claire take a shot.
They are from Austria, and they really wanted me to party it up with them, so I did. And they're now nowhere to be found.
Yes, they moved on.
They moved on to find their next victim. This evening we are starting off with a Slovenian wine, and I've been very, very excited to come here to drink their wine because Slovenia is so known for having these beautiful vineyards and producing some really delicious wines. So I asked our waitress what we should get, and she said that this is one of the most traditional options. It's a mix of both red and white grapes, and the locals love it. And she said it's a little bit sour, and it might be an acquired taste. But she says if you don't like it, just know that Slovenians are a little bit odd. Ooh. I most certainly haven't tasted a wine like this before. It almost tastes like really sour candy. It's extremely sour and it's extremely fruity at the same time. But it's very refreshing, and I feel like it would be the perfect summertime drink.
I like that though. Okay, so I think it's like a white wine. I don't really taste the red wine aspect. That is sour. A sour white wine. Well, because I love candy and I've always loved like Sour Patch Kids and things, I could get down with this wine. It's a fun one. It's something I'd want to have like on Halloween or something.
So next up tonight we have Ajdovi žganci, which is a buckwheat flour dish, and as you can see, it is a little bit brown from the buckwheat flour. And normally it's topped with some kind of meat, like sausages or bacon, but we got the vegan version, so there is no meat to be found on the top. But we have it with some Ričet, which I told you about earlier. It's that barley soup, and I think you kind of eat it together since there's the lack of meat. You kind of give it a little bit more oomph with the soup. So I'm really excited to try it. And a little fun fact for you, this was actually traditionally eaten by farmers, people working out in the fields, and they needed something hearty enough to last them a long and tiring workday. And so this is what they would eat. And alas, we've had such a long day of eating food and just exploring a castle, but we still need nutrition, I guess. This feels like if you took a ton of beans and you made it into some kind of a crumble, and then you like sauteed it and then put it in a bowl. That's just what it tastes like to me. Refried beans made into a crumbly, a crumbly texture. And then there are these little crunchy things on top that give it a little burst of flavor.
I must say, I'm extremely confused by Claire's description, so I'm excited to try this. That is really good. I love that. Wow. It's exactly like they were saying.
Yeah, it is so, so good. Like, I could eat that, in the mornings when I wake up. It feels like the perfect hearty breakfast.
Rainy day walks.
This city still has so much charm, even in the rain. It's so pretty, and all the lights are glowing right now because it's slowly fading into the nighttime.
Yeah, I love the warm lights.
Yeah.
And the pitter-patter of our umbrella.
Yes.
Dessert time.
It's jiggly. This is Kremna rezina, and it is a layered vanilla cake with custard, cream, and puff pastry. It's very similar to the Bled cream cake, which we're hoping to try when we go over to Lake Bled. But I'm a fan of custard and cream and puff pastry, so I think I'm really gonna like this. I'm gonna be eating so much of this while we're here. I love it. Something I have noticed about the desserts in Slovenia are they just really aren't too sweet. And my favorite desserts are the ones that aren't overly sugary. Oh, this is so good. We also got ourselves another wine. This time it's fully red, and it's made from a red grape that's cultivated here in Slovenia. So let's give it a try. I really don't know much about wines, but I can say it's a delicious one. We were able to try 9 different Slovenian foods today, although it should have been 11. Some of the restaurants actually didn't have what we wanted, but we're still here for another week and a half, so there's lots of chances to try those 2 extra things. But if you want to see where else we go in Slovenia, and also as we travel to 50 countries around the world, hit subscribe. With all that said, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye!